there's an inconvenience with or even a fear of American soccer history, or the reality that soccer has been here in America for over a century. We've had great players and great clubs throughout our past, even as far back as 70, 80, 90, 100 years ago. We've been a rich soccer nation. We haven't been able to pull it together under one united pyramid, and there are different factors behind that, like the size of our country and travel and technology barriers. Now in 2017, I think we're ready to pull everything together, and we're wasting time. But the fact that we have a great soccer heritage is undeniable. 1930 World Cup, the USA were semifinalists. They didn't give up a goal up until that point. So America cannot say that it doesn't have a past or track record with the game of soccer. And I think the acknowledgement that America has soccer history is inconvenient, because then it starts to raise questions of, well, what's going on now? Is soccer really a baby sport here in America? Is it due to the fact, is America's struggles with establishing a quality professional club system and national team and player development pipeline due to the fact that leadership has been incompetent, or is it due to the fact that soccer is a new sport? And I think what many people would like to fall back on is the reality, or is the claim that, oh well, soccer is just so new here, and it's so such a niche sport that we need time to let the sport establish itself here, let it grow into the culture, and then once we get to a certain point, we'll be ready and we'll finally start looking like the rest of the world with our soccer. Even though we have all of the ingredients of a great soccer nation. But when you start to look back at, well, we do have a history of soccer leagues, professional clubs, professional players here in America. As a matter of fact, a century ago, we were rating Europe for its players. I read something that the Scottish Football Association called it, I think, the American Scourge, or something to that extent. We were stealing players from Europe. We were getting in trouble with the federations over there a long time ago. So once we acknowledge that America has a rich soccer history, well, then it begs the question, well, why can't we leverage that into a great footballing structure today? And I think one of the things that MLS falls back on is that, well, it just needs time, right? We'll get there eventually. You just got to give us 10, 20, 30 more years. It's been since about 1995. That's when they were founded. So it's been 20 plus years now with no growth really overall. I mean, well, we've had growth with MLS, but in terms of growth compared to global soccer in America, the MLS slice of the whole American soccer market pie is actually shrinking ever since the advent of television and the internet, ever since America has been connected with this authentic version of soccer in the world around us. So once we hit about the turn of the century in 2000, and after that, when we really started to be able to access the authentic version of soccer, we could tell the difference right away. We are a sophisticated USA Soccer fan demographic, and we quickly realized that MLS and the closed USA Soccer system with no promotion relegation is missing the essence of soccer, which is inclusion and opportunity, what promotion and relegation provides. Another interesting point about this is the U.S. Soccer Federation's neglect of the U.S. Open Cup over the years. And this is a tournament that's been around for 100 plus years. It had its centennial in 2013. I was reading another article on that, how, as 2013 was 4 years ago, and at that point, it's 2017 now. In 2013, the U.S. Soccer Federation didn't even have a Twitter account for the or a Facebook account or anything like that for the U.S. Open Cup. This is a 100-year-old tournament that had professional clubs playing in it over 100 years ago. The only thing older than that trophy, than the U.S. Open Cup trophy, is the Stanley Cup in ice hockey. So we have this awesome, rich, historic cup tournament, domestic cup here in the USA, and our U.S. Soccer Governing Federation pays little to no attention to it. And it's only because of pressure from common folks, like people on social media and the internet, Twitter. It's only because of pressure from people, in the general public, that U.S. Soccer has decided to finally start giving it a little bit of coverage. So now we're starting to see a more organized effort with branding and social media accounts and dedicated pages and video and article content on the U.S. Soccer website. So they're finally starting to treat it like an actual cup tournament, like you'd see, that Football Association in England treats the FA Cup. So it's getting a little bit better in that regard, but we had to pull teeth to get them to acknowledge it. And it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. And then when you look at U.S. Soccer's relationship with MLS, well, it seems like MLS kind of wants to downplay American soccer history, sort of ignore it, push it to the side, and say, America was never a soccer nation, and ever since MLS came in, since we came in, be happy that you've got us, because we're the ones that have been able to bring you real soccer here in America. So play by our rules or you get no soccer at all. And then U.S. Soccer colludes with MLS. It gives them exclusive control of the USA Soccer Division I sanction, thereby making the MLS company the default winner in the marketplace, the uncontested winner. No one can compete with them. So then it starts to get into, looks like we've got some corruption with between U.S. Soccer, the organization that's supposed to govern MLS, and MLS itself. Then we go into the rabbit hole of the connections and the relationships there. But why is U.S. Soccer so shy about neglecting an old cup tournament like the U.S. Open Cup? In the Hall of Fame, it's been in New York for quite a while, and now it's going to move to Dallas, and it's going to move into a MLS stadium, FC Dallas's ground down there. And one wonders, will that Hall of Fame acknowledge a lot of the rich American soccer history we have? I'm sure it's going to have to. It's going to have to cover itself a little bit, but it's kind of interesting how that's suddenly moving down to FC Dallas territory. So the question about U.S. soccer history is good. It's good. It's good to learn about in general. Once you start to dig in a little bit to the awesome players and clubs we've had in the past and the kind of ethnic connections we've had, there have been some awesome ethnic clubs in the past, and there are some that even exist today, kind of as smaller amateur clubs or youth clubs. So you really appreciate the history and potential of USA Soccer when you understand what we've had here for over 100 years. Soccer has always been a huge sport here in America, and now particularly as we've seen the advent of technology and television and the internet, it's become clear that soccer is a major sport in the USA. The MLS, an authentic closed Division I model, is not big in the USA, and don't confuse the two. We love our real soccer, but we don't care for soccer that's shoehorned into the U.S. sports closed franchise league model. So learn about USA Soccer history and also observe and ask questions. Why aren't we paying attention more to our USA Soccer history? Why isn't there more coverage about it? And then what does that mean for the future of American soccer? If we've had 100 plus years of USA Soccer history, we can't use that excuse anymore of, soccer is new here. No, it's been here always. We have a huge country that's the size of Europe. Of course, through the years, travel and technology restraints, could have hampered us from pulling it all together under a proper USA Soccer Federation that could unite all clubs under one pyramid, but now we have no more excuse. We have every tool we could need to be a world soccer superpower, from a national team, a club, and a player development perspective. All we need now is proper federation leadership, the same leadership you see in football associations, federations all over the world. Make a declaration, we're going to open the pyramid. From there, give a few years of preparation time. And if you don't want to sign on, you can go operate without divisional sanctions. So it's that easy. We just need the federation to sign the dotted line and say, yep, we are going to open the system for all, because at the end of the day, discrimination is wrong. So if you like this video, make sure to share it out all across social media, and also subscribe right here to my channel. And I'll talk to you soon.